Good day, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. Let's not forget you, will we? Okay, while the ANC is in chaos with leadership tussles happening behind the scenes, guess what? The same's happening in that little Mickey Mouse party called the BLF, the Black First Land First Party, which should be before the courts for their public utterances, and I'll explain to you why in a second. But let's understand the chaos that's going on in a party which it probably has an I factor of about 32. And I think my long-term subscribers know what I'm talking about. The leadership of Black First Land First, or BLF, are in a public tussle with claims and counterclaims of non-membership and impropriety being flung against one another. According to a statement released on the BLF official Twitter page, its controversial leader, Andile Nixitama, also known as the Troll, this little guy, there he is with a long Pinocchio nose. The statement or letter of suspension reads, "This letter serves to confirm to the general membership and the media that the following comrades, Andile Nixitama and Shanta Balishakrina, are not genuine members of BLF until such time they provide proof of membership." Now, he just happens to be the leader of the party, but who cares? You can't make up this shit. It only happens in South Africa, believe me. Speaking to a paper on Monday, Nixitama said, "I've read the statement. Our Twitter account, the passwords there were altered." Now, they go through so many Twitter accounts because they keep on being taken down because of outrageous statements. I'm surprised they continue to still take a BLF page. But anyway, I guess that's a lefty for you. Anyway, you continue to say, this is Nixitama, the apparent leader of the BLF, but apparently is not even a member. I don't know what that leaves his members at. Asked about the authenticity of statement, the leader of the Land or Death Party said it was not a BLF statement. Now, on that land or death, my understanding was that the BLF had to publicly apologize in a court decision for actually using that on their shirts and other things like that. I haven't heard of a public apology, have you? If there's someone in my subscribers who can follow that up and find out if the BLF have actually ever apologized for using that slogan, which was seen to be hate speech, it would really be appreciated, because this is again something that fits in with what they're trying to do with Steve Hofmeyr. If the courts didn't enforce their decision that the BLF had to publicly apologize for the land or death slogan, that's another huge confirmation that the justice system is totally cactus in South Africa, and very racist as well. So I need someone, maybe Koos can do that for me. Hey Koos, here's a high five for you, buddy. Now, this is going on with Nixitama. Not that it's not. I mean, the SG is suspended. He's facing a number of charges. He has asked for an extension to respond to them, and he's been granted an extension. That suspension has got nothing to do with the letters circulating right now. He was suspended 3 weeks ago, said Nixitama. In a follow-up interview, Nixitama added, "The BLF Twitter account has been hacked. The SG has been suspended for over 3 weeks. He is facing numerous charges. He has asked for an extension from DC. He is a fairly new member. I appointed him a year ago. It seems he has gone rogue. Instead of subjecting himself to the DC, he is making untrue statements." In a telephonic interview with the paper, BLF Secretary General Sefisile Jele, in whose name the statement was issued, insisted on the authenticity of the statement, adding that the Twitter account had not been hacked. "The statement stands. It is authentic. There is no hacking. No hacking of the Twitter account," said Jele. "We are authorized. It is our statement. We are challenging them to produce proof. The BLF leader has since provided what seems to be proof. The genesis of the conflict appears to be in relation to the formation of a union. Jelle has been accused of forming a union using the database of the BLF. Well, it would be a very small union. He's got about 5 members. I don't know what they're getting so excited about. BLF members consist of employed and unemployed people from a variety of provinces. How do you then take membership and say, no, these people who belong to us and they are employed, please open a union for us? You can't use a database to open a union. We discovered last year that he, Nixie Tama, wasn't a member, but he was arrogant. He didn't budge. Nixie Tama and his party, which managed to garner a mere 0.11% of the votes nationally in the May general elections, were most recently in the news after being ordered by the Gauteng High Court in Johannesburg to refrain from continuing to access or to accuse billionaire and mining mogul Patrice Motsepe of meddling in Botswana's politics. Now, why this is very interesting is because there is this press release that's come out by the BLF following the arrest of Steve Hofmeyr. Let me just get that. Okay, this is a BLF press release dated the 19th of June. So it's about the time that the ANC decided they were going to go and lay charges against Steve Hofmeyr. But I'm going to attach a scan of this letter to the video so you can actually have a look at it yourself. I'm reading it out in case you're on a mobile phone and the letters are too small. Okay, the press release is headed Black First, Land First, and it says BLF, Steve Hofmeyr, and Land or Death. Now, they're still using that slogan when they're supposed to have apologized and stopped using it. So there's something very strange here with the legal system if they're getting away with that. And that's just the first point. But the actual press release reads as follows. Black First, Land First warns Steve Hofmeyr, threaten black violence at your peril. Hofmeyr continues to spew his vile racism and threatens the lives of black people, including specifically Zinzi Mandela and Fumili Van Dam. Now, he didn't do that. South Africa is a black country. The land belongs to the black majority, and we are going to take it by any means necessary. Now, I would suggest that is highly inflammatory. But of course, no action has been taken by the ANC against one of their own, has it? No, they go and get a scapegoat, an enemy of the state, Steve Hofmeyr, a white fella. That's how racist this ANC government is. Let's continue with what this guy says. Or what the press release says. We assure you that we are not fearful to shed blood in order to take back what was stolen from us. Now, I would suggest that is a lot worse, a lot more hateful than anything Hofmeyr ever put in his tweet. And this is the sort of shit that he should actually be raising in court in his defense. Because this press release is from a registered political party that the IEC, or the Electoral Commission in South Africa, still recognize as a valid political party, despite their incredible racist rhetoric. Okay, we assure you that we are not fearful to shed blood in order to take back what was stolen from us. BLF notes that this upsurge in white arrogance is a direct result of the right-wing parliament where Ramaphosa, together with Malema, continue to refuse to expropriate the land in the hands of land thieves without compensation. You see how he's picking up the words of Zinzi Mandela? Land thieves? BLF wishes to remind black people that regardless of gender, whether you belong to the African National Congress, ANC, the Democratic Alliance, DA, or Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, land thieves see us all as slaves, as tenants in our own land. No amount of protecting white influence will protect you. To them, we are all monkeys. Now, the blacks generally are lovely, tolerant people. The trouble is, these pariah politicians, that's the trouble. They're the ones who are causing all the shit. The BLF wants to remind Hofmeyr that he is not the first to threaten of violence on black people. In truth, black people are in a perpetual state of violence orchestrated by land thieves. Over 2,000 people have been murdered in the Cape in just 6 months. Yet his ilk sheds copious amounts of tears when there is just one murder in the Cape Winelands. BLF warns Hofmeyr as we warned Rupert. 1:5. Now, what he's referring to there, for those people who are not familiar with this little arsehole, where's my little, yeah. You know what he can do? He can pog me on. And daily you can pog me on. Now, what the reference to 1 to 5 is in a speech he gave several months ago. He said, for every black life that is lost, 5 white people will be killed. And that was a speech that got condemned all over the country, but he's now using this little acronym of 1:5. And everybody knows what he's talking about. Everybody knows what he's talking about. And then underneath that he puts, and you'll see this in the scan that I've attached, land or death. And then this press release is issued by Black First, Land First National Coordinating Committee. So it's at top of the tree of the BLF. And it's signed off by Zanele Luana, the deputy president, with the cell phone number. Now, she is actually a very, very, how can I put it? She's a very, very, she's one of those people that gives you the creeps. You know what I mean? I've heard some very, very disturbing reports about her. And obviously I don't have anything to substantiate them, but I can tell you now that there's a lot of evidence that she is a very, very strange woman indeed. And the press release is also signed by Lindsay Marsdorp as the national spokesperson. So there you go. Now, I would again suggest that press release, an official press release from the BLF, makes the sins of Steve Hofmeyr in his tweet fade into insignificance in comparison. When you use this sort of language, you know, where you're talking about we will take back the land by any means necessary, and we assure you that we are not fearful to shed blood in order to take back what was stolen from us. Now, I'm waiting for the ANC to try and do something about this, but they won't, because it's a racist country, and it's black on white racism. All right, guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Here come the scans of the press release by the BLF, and ring the bell to get the updates, and have a great evening or a great day. Bye for now.